Hello everyone, Ruhi Çenet here. We are in Derinkuyu, Turkey, near Cappadocia. Below our feet, there is the world's largest underground city, which made the history books rewritten. Let's explore it. In the beginning of 1960s, a man was renovating his house. When he tore down his wall, he realized that it opens to a mysterious room and saw tunnels continuing after. Then he took a light source in his hand and started exploring. During the exploration, he understood that these tunnels go even further. He wasn't aware that this place is the world's biggest underground city. Here there are shelters, supply rooms, of course there should be animals, so stables, missionary schools, a church, wine houses and a big grave room. So how do these people breathe? There are ventilation spaces like this, but this one was closed during the restorations. One shelter here, one there. It is said that this underground city could take up to 20,000 people inside. And here is the kitchen area. This bit you're seeing is a tandoori, a traditional Anatolian floor furnace. They used to stick their breads and cook their meat stew pans here. Of course, there's a chimney supposed to take the smoke out. That's the chimney. You see the top, there are smoke stains. People used to cook their meals in the night to stay unnoticed. Obviously, smoke wasn't visible in the night. Every family didn't have their own kitchen. They all used this one together as a common area. In these halls you're seeing, they used to keep their food like barley or wheat. After AD 30, when Jesus Christ had already claimed his prophecy, the first Christians couldn't easily find a safe place for themselves. They were at risk. In the 2nd century, these Christians came to Antakya, Kayseri, then here. Of course, they knew how to hide from the invaders by going underground. These tough stones you're seeing are volcanic formations. Now these are very hard because when they meet with air, they get hardened. However, if you dig this layer, you would see that the 2nd or 3rd or deep layers are very soft. And by drilling through these stones, they built an underground city here. It was the years 150s or 160s, a short time after when Jesus was born. Some of their grandparents might have seen Jesus Christ. The Roman Empire was idolater and didn't want Christians back then. The empire was cruel towards them. So those Christians came underground and protected their religion. Maybe if these Christians hadn't survived here, the Christianity might have never spread it. In this mysterious underground city, almost anything that is needed for humans to survive exists. But what is there in the deepest point of it? It is really huge here. There's a ventilation hole here too, but during restorations it was closed. Actually, there are many underground cities that people used to hide in. In this region, it is said that there are 150 or 200 underground cities. Now there is one more underground city around here, Kaimakli underground city. We are in Derinkuyu. It is said that these two underground cities are connected with each other. This 4.3 mile or 7 kilometer tunnel connects to Kaimakli. With these tunnels, underground cities are connected to each other. There is a huge network of cities below Anatolia. This stone you're seeing is for blocking the tunnel in case things don't go right. For preventing enemy soldiers from continuing through here. I'll talk about these stones again later. Let's continue more. We of course want to go to places that normal tourists are too lazy to go. The more places we see, the more things we learn. It is unbelievably chill down here. It is about 68 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius here. Chilly in summer, warm in winter. Think about it, in that time, in the 2nd or 3rd centuries, people lived here. Of course, we illuminate the place with flashlights now, but they saw their surroundings throughout the darkness with candles. Imagine the atmosphere back then. Days, weeks spent with anxiety because of the fear from the enemy. And we feel a little bit claustrophobic down here. Let's see where this leads.
Introducing Speechalo, the most natural sounding text-to-speech software on the market. Hey, I'm Joey, and I'm one of the 30 AI voices from Speechalo. You listened to this video until now and you probably couldn't tell I'm not a real human voice. That's because I understand exactly.
Let's film here. I'll take the camera. I'll shoot it like this. Of course, it was closed. It was the continuation of 4.3 mile tunnel going to Kaimakli. Look, I will show you why the air here is clean. A 180 feet or 55 meter ventilating chimney that connects to the other world. There was a water well at the bottom of it. Since this was an oxygen source, almost every room was built around it. Residents here used to both drink water and take some fresh air. For the enemy not to occlude the only ventilation, at different points more than 10 ventilation chimneys were made. Known depth of the underground city is approximately 280 feet or 85 meters. In modern buildings, a normal living place is 2.5 meters and the thickness of the walls between the living spaces is 1.5 meters. If we consider the total height of each floor as 5 meters, we can think of this place as a 17-story skyscraper which was built underground. Since the rock thickness between the floors here is a lot, there are only 8 floors in 85 meters. Here, tunnels are specially built narrow, not to let the enemy pass. I mean, you see, an armored soldier cannot easily go through here. There's a sliding door here. It was fixed during the restorations. If the enemy came here, this tunnel goes to the 4th floor. This sliding door will be slided to prevent the enemy from going to downstairs. It's a 660 pound or 300 kilogram door and it has a hole here. Now the tunnel has an approximate height of 8 feet or 2.5 meters, but you will see it will even get narrower. We are going down to the 4th floor. Here we came. There's a communication hole here. Between the floors there are communication holes with a diameter of 10 inches or 25 centimeters. As I can understand, this one goes to the 2nd floor. When you say something, people on the upper floor can hear you. Now we will go through a long tunnel that goes to 7th floor, or in other words, -7. We should be careful about our steps not to roll down. You see small rooms here. There's another sliding door. I'll show you something. Now there's a small room here. They push this heavy door from the back and close the tunnel to prevent anyone passing from the 4th floor to the 7th floor. There are trap tunnels here as well. When the enemy soldiers enter, they will go through these tunnels, but it goes nowhere, which are dead ends, and soldiers lose their lives in here. When they enter, residents here close the sliding door behind just like that one and eliminate the soldiers. Even today, an ordinary subway construction takes 45 years. 1,800 years ago, when there were no modern tools and machines and there was no electricity, how was this place built? Thousands of workers are needed just for the digging. Total weight of the sand and stones taken from underground is estimated to be more than 5 million tons. Now we are on the 7th floor. There is a church here. As you can see, there are crosses here. Also, this space is designed as a cross form. There is the long arm of the cross and there is the short arm. They didn't only pray here, they also had secret meetings down here. Imagine those people, they're afraid of going outside. They pray here under candlelights. Christians stayed here for days without seeing the daylight. They were so intimate with each other because they spent days down here without seeing anyone else. There is also a grave room on this floor. This tunnel you're seeing goes to the graveyard. Here is maybe the most crucial part of this place. Centuries before, there were corpses down here. Think of the corpses going through here. Imagine that you're here at that time. Maybe you lost one of your family members and you are carrying his or her body here. A quite narrow tunnel. There were dying people naturally. They buried them here. To make corpses decompose easily and stop the corpses from smelling, they dissolved them by chemicals. Obviously, they couldn't burn the corpses because there is no space for the smoke to go. This looks like it is going to somewhere, but it goes to nowhere. A closed area, possibly chemicals and tools for decomposing bodies were kept here. There's a water well here, but it is a well with no connection above. What would enemy soldiers do if they discovered a water well? You saw the big ventilation chimney above. They might throw poison there and ruin all the water. Since this was a water well without a surface connection, it was safe to drink all the time. Now we are in the last tunnel which goes to the 8th floor. Of course, this is the last part of the place that is open to us. So there was a ventilation chimney above, 180 feet, 55 meters long as I said. This is the deepest point of it. You can see some trash there. Now let's go to the rooms where people live. You see many rooms here. My backpack touched the upper part of the tunnel. I will leave it here. We should be a little careful here. The information I give in this video is based on the Anabasis book of Xenophon. Let's continue exploring where people live. Tourists visiting here usually don't come here. It is hard to climb and the floor is a little slippery. There are small rooms there. A family used to live here. Imagine them. They fear from the enemy outside. Again, it belongs to a family.